Hotel Echo Lima Lima Oscar. Good afternoon from South East London, England, from your host, your guy himself, the one and only and truly DLG Repping, otherwise short for Delhi London Guna Space Romeo Echo Papa Papa Indigo November. Right, this is another live stream, another match day pre-review of our game, our last game against Newcastle United, which finished Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 0. Now, the goal itself, for me, by the naked eye, it looks like the ball just went out of play. And on another day, that could have been a goal kick to Arsenal. Well, the Arsenal defenders, about 7 of them, they gave up on the ball. Cross comes in. Davaria makes a mistake. He misses the in-swinging cross. Joe Linton headers the ball across goal, where Gabriel dos Santos Magalhães was fouled. Then Anthony Gordon smashes the ball into an empty net. Now, Gabriel dos Santos Magalhães deemed to be fouled, and there was a possibility of Anthony Gordon being offside. Well, on that, yeah, we just don't make any excuses. But there was significant controversy going on in that build up to the goal, and other controversies. But before I go on, yeah, show me love, joy, and respect by smashing the thumbs up like button for me, yeah. Show me love, joy, and respect, and smash the thumbs up like button for me. Left, right, and centre, gloriously but passionately for me, yeah. Smash the thumbs up like button for me. If you're going to do that, yeah, show me love, joy, and respect by sharing this channel all over the globe, especially to your friends and your relatives, yeah? Make sure you share this channel all over the globe, yeah? And if you're watching me for the first time, yeah, welcome on board. Remember to share this channel amongst your friends and your relatives and tell them to share it amongst their friends and relatives, yeah? In the comment section below, if you want to talk about the VAR decision to award Newcastle the goal, you want to talk about the Arsenal performance overall, which I'm going to be going through in a bit, then feel free to do so. Your comment in the comment section below where positive feedback belongs, yeah? So keep it nice, but keep it respectful. Yeah, your opinions, your views, your reaction, all matters in the comment section below. Make sure, lastly, that you subscribe to the channel, yeah? Smash that sub button for me, left, right, and centre, gloriously but passionately for me, yeah? I am aiming for over 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, or hopefully by the beginning of the new year, so get subscribing. Excuse me. Other than that, yeah, the performance, the first 20 minutes, I think we did pretty well to weather the storm, keep the crowd quiet. You know, I thought the players matched up to the physicality. They coped with it well. They weathered the storm with the fans, keeping them as quiet as possible. However, Kai Havertz should have been seeing red for a complete reckless lunge on a Newcastle player. He caught him a little bit with his trailing leg, but on another day, he could have seen red because if he had caught the player, we're possibly talking about a broken ankle. Seriously, Guimaraes, he should never have been on that pitch for 90 minutes either. So there was 2 red cards for either, 1 red card apiece for either side. And on top of that, yeah, in the second half, from an Arsenal perspective, we had 1 shot on target. And that tells me that there's no creativity in the midfield. Mikel Arteta has branded the decision an embarrassing and a disgrace. I'll tell you what's embarrassing: the performance, the performance of Kai Havertz, the performance in the midfield from Jorginho, the lack of creativity, and a disgrace where he is not man enough to come out in the post match and take accountability for the lack of creativity, the lack of poor performances from individual players. Now, he's ruthless in other areas of the pitch, like the goalkeeper situation. Ramsdale was our undisputed number one. We've got Raya, who's made up to 4 or 5 mistakes. Why isn't he ruthless? Why isn't he ruthless on the right wing where Bukayo Saka operates? Because he has put in poor performances. Yet on Saturday, another poor performance. Why isn't he ruthless there? Why is he not ruthless with Eddie Nketiah? I mean, he doesn't do half the work that Jesus does. You know, he does not bring the best out of Martinelli and Saka. And I'm not saying Martinelli and Saka had a good game. They were both equally as poor as each other. My word, I'm going to give him that these player ratings soon. But you know, Newcastle got the win, and that's the end of it. They prove how difficult they are to beat when they have got a 1-0 lead. And this season, I've noticed we have not scored in the first 15 minutes of any Premier League game. Even against Sheffield United, yes, we won 5-0, but the goals didn't come until after what, 20 odd minutes, 25 or 30 odd minutes. I rest my case. I rest my case. But again, in another big game, that midfield has to take a lot of accountability. But Arteta has to take accountability because he picked that midfield. You know, he's picked that midfield to go up against that Newcastle ragged midfield. And I'll tell you what, there's no spark in that midfield. Kai Havertz again. Waka waka hey, waka waka hey, 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz flops again. Yes, he flopped again. Jorginho, just too passive. The only positive spark about that midfield was Declan Rice for me. He's the only Arsenal player that can come out of St James's Park with any credit at all. Not with any credit at all. Declan Rice. Sorry, it is what it is. So for me, let's get into the player ratings. In goal, David Raya. Now, he didn't have an awful lot to do. His distribution with the ball was not too bad. But the one thing that he had to do was wait for that in-swinging cross to come in and time his agility on point. Now, if he watches that cross, he has a catch to make or a punch to clear. He does neither. He totally misjudges the cross and finds himself scarpering to save Anthony Gordon's winner. And that's on him. It's another ricket from him. And for that ricket alone, he has cost us. I'm going to give him a 4. Simple as that. Not good enough. Unacceptable. Benjamin White at right back. Very ineffective from an offensive point of view. One attempted cross in that second half was blocked by the left back. Was it Trippier? I think it was Trippier that blocked it. For me, for that goal, he played a part in it where he didn't bother go over to Joe Willock and put pressure on him to stop the cross, put any pressure on the cross. He stopped and put his hands up in the air, expecting the referee to blow for a goal kick. No, you play to the final whistle. Not for me. 5. William Saliba. Again, he was part of that defence that stopped, expecting the referee to blow for a goal kick. That being said, I can't say he was poor, but again, it wasn't a bad performance. Defensively, he didn't do too much wrong apart from that goal. Just stopping, expecting the referee to blow. I suppose it's a defensive matter here. I'm going to give him a 5.5. Gabriel dos Santos Magalhães, another bozo moment from him. You know, maybe I think it is. I think it's harsh. I think it'll be hard for me to criticize him for the goal because he looked like he was fouled. You can clearly see there was two hands pushing him at the back from Joe Linton. That being said, he weren't too bad. I didn't think he was too bad on the ball. Defensively, he was as physical as anyone else on the pitch. I'm going to give him a 6. Tomiyasu, again, always dependable, always reliable defensively. Maybe not the best of not the best of games for him from a defensive point of view. He was moved to right back as Zinchenko came on, but we'll get onto Zinchenko later on. Uh, he did invert into attacking areas, but nevertheless, he was very ineffective in that part. Oh, I'm going to give him a 5. All right, let's move into the midfield. Jorginho, for me, he was not too bad in the first half. In the second half, again, yeah, just there's no spark from him. You're not going to get any creative spark from Jorginho, even though I don't feel like he's a CDM, but he played in that role. Even though he was fine, even though he was in a forward position, he didn't look like he was going to affect the game from where he was. I'm going to give him 5. Declan Rice, I'm going to give a 6.5. He's the only one that could take any credibility from this game. He was all over their pitch. He was making tackles, interceptions, clearing his lines, very calm with the ball at his feet. Calm, just so confident and calm with his passing. And for me, he performed like an Arsenal captain that has been. He's performed like an Arsenal captain. You know, someone who's been at the club for years. I'll give him a 6.5. I'm not saying he had the best of games, but he tried. He put an effort in. Kai Havertz, he weren't too bad in the second half. He wasn't all that bad, but for me, he just faded away in the game, and he is so irrelevant and ineffective. I don't know what overall, I just don't see what he brings to the team. I'm getting to the point where I am done with the Kai Havertz experiment. Sorry. I really am done with the experiment. I just don't see what he brings to the team. £65 million is a lot of money for someone who, let's face it, he wasn't a success at Chelsea. But what made Arsenal pay that amount of money for him when we can go and buy someone in that position for less than the money that we spent on him? And 300 bags a week. Don't get me started. Oh, Kai Havertz 4. Right, the attacking 3. Bukayo Saka, crap. Utter crap. Not once did I ever see him take on Dan Burn and beat him for a bit of skill and pace. Not once did he create anything of any significant. I just didn't see him have a go. And when he did get the ball on the right, even though he was surrounded by 3 players, I expect Bukayo Saka, with the ability he has, to create something out of nothing, a bit of magic. There was nothing there. I'm going to give him a 2, and he's lucky he's getting 2 for me. Gabriel Martinelli, He might have had the only shot on target in that whole game, but so ineffective. You know what I mean? His end product is just so crap. Oh my word, so frustrating to watch. He just at times irritates me. I'm going to give him a 2, and he's lucky to have a 2. Just about gets a 2 for me. Eddie Nketiah, 0. Just not good enough. Just not good enough to hold the ball up in the big games. He was made to look good against Sheffield United because that's his levels. Yeah, and he's proved that. I think it's safe to say that Sheffield United is his levels. He just doesn't do anything. Can someone in the comment section tell me what does Eddie Nketiah bring to the team? What does he bring? Because I don't see anything from him. I don't see a spark. His touches are appalling. His first touch is so atrocious. He's lambasted. He's lambasted. So lethargic when getting into the penalty area, and then he drops in to the midfield to try and create some spark. Again, his contribution to the team is very, very feeble. Give him a 0. Right, the substitutions. Fabio Vieira, he had enough time to make an impact, and I didn't see anything from him. I just didn't see anything from him. No wonder Declan Rice had a go at him at the end, where he's put so much weight on the pass, he's forced Declan Rice to battle to keep the ball alive, and Declan Rice had a right go at him because the pass was so careless. 3 for Fabio Vieira. Alexander Zinchenko, he's come on and he gave the ball away twice at least, if not 3 times. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. Oh, yeah, that's how tired I am about talking about Zinchenko. Inverted from left back to in midfield. Created very little, if I'm being honest, and did very little. 2. I'm giving him a 2 out of 10. Who else came on? Leandro Trossard. I suppose he came on and at least tried to have a go. At least he tried to make something happen, Tried to beat a man. He was more direct than what Martinelli was for the whole 90 minutes, or for however long he had out of that 90 minutes. He had, let's say, the bulk of the 90 minutes to do. Yeah, the bulk of the 90 minutes to make something happen for Arsenal. Go at Trippier. Not once did I see him go at Trippier, but with Trossard, he gave Newcastle something else to think about, and he made an effort. I'll give him a 4. Tommy Essen moved to right back to come on for Zinchenko. I've marked him down. I've marked Vieira down. And that's about it. It was a substitution. Now, Mikel Arteta. This is a manager who's claims that he's got the winning mentality to help push Arsenal to bigger trophies, bigger fish to fry. He feels that he has to copy Pep, but Pep has gone on to win major honours again and again and again, and he's not won anything from up to 4 seasons. This guy threw away the Carabao Cup yet again, not for the first time, but for the 4th time now. Threw away the Europa League. He threw away FA Cups. And he expects me to trust the process. Seriously? In the post-match interview, he made a right pig's ear out of himself. He embarrassed himself. He's claiming that the decision to award the goal and not to give a foul was embarrassing. I'll tell you what was embarrassing. 5, 6, maybe 7 Arsenal players stopping and allowing Joe Willock all the space in the world to swing in swing and crossing. David Raya flapping at the cross without getting a touch on it before Anthony Gordon before or after Anthony Gordon smashes the ball into the back of the net. That's embarrassing. And he uses the word he branded VAR a disgrace. I'll tell you what was a disgrace: the midfield you picked, the lack of creativity, and the fact that you become a coward, and the fact that you brought on Zinchenko when we needed an attacking player to get an equaliser, give us hope of an equaliser. Why didn't you get Why couldn't you put Leon Trossard in the midfield attacking role, number 10? Why didn't you go for that? Because you are a coward. Nah, for me, you're getting a 1. And you're lucky you're getting a 1 for me. The referee missed 2 red cards opportunities. How he knocks off Havertz and Guimaraes is beyond me. You know, he allowed Guimaraes to get away with a forehead to the back of the head of Jorginho. He pushes Fabio Vieira. He allowed Guimaraes to push Fabio Vieira by the throat, even though Vieira made a little of it. He made a meal of it by touching his face. That was embarrassing. I mean, he lost control of the game. He had no control of the game, dishing out yellow cards. And I mean, Havertz's challenge, you know, it was a yellow card for him when it should have been a red, but 3 Newcastle players got booked. He lost control of the fixture. The referee was not strong enough. He gets a 2. Right. No, I'm giving them a 1.5 referee. The Arsenal fans, they were in full voices, and credit to them. They travelled in their droves a very long way from London, and they sung their heart out, chanted. For those that stayed for the 90 minutes, well done to you, Arsenal fans. I'm going to give them an 8.5 out of 10. So, well, here's the end of it, yeah? I'm going to wrap this up and say what a pleasure it is to do another rating review, but this time it's been a disappointing rating. I'm sorry that I'm not so sorry that it's low. It is what it is. I'm saying it for what it is, and that's the end of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, I thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching and saving the best to last. I thank you so much for putting up with me. Do look after your friends. Make sure you look after your families, and do look after yourself, which is always important. More peace, more love, more blessings again. From your guy, the one and only and truly himself. We're going to chat again, yeah? Do remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And please make sure you're always nice. And I do mean be nice. Cheers.